listening to Clash Royale Radio with Dylan and Caleb in 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back to Clash Royale Radio, episode number 40. I am your host, Dylan. And guys, a brand new tower troop coming into the game this season. Absolutely wild. The Royale Chef. Absolutely wild. And guys, I cannot believe it's episode number 40, a huge mark. And how cool is it to be like episode 40 when we just hit 40,000 downloads for this whole entire journey that we have been doing, guys. It's a huge mileage mark for us, and super, super grateful for you guys. And I also cooked up 4 decks for the 20-win challenge. And speaking of the 20-win challenge, they have postponed that to a later date. They had something going on, like a bug or something like that, and they just had to postpone it. Still, I haven't heard nothing yet. I haven't really checked either, but have not heard anything, as well as when the 20-win challenge will be up. But yeah, I got 4 decks for you guys to try out. Try them out now and see how they work. They're one of the popular decks out there, so that'll be towards the end of this episode. Guys, if you haven't already, join the Discord server. The link will be down in the show notes below. All you have to do is click down there, and you're invited. And also, check us out on YouTube, and leave a review if you haven't already. I love reading reviews, or if you guys are over there by Spotify, send them, or, send those comments down, guys. I read every single one of them. I got a couple of birthday wishes. Thank you, guys. One of the guys said, I was number 1 in their rap. That's actually insane. If I'm number 1 in your rap, man, you probably don't listen to a lot of podcasts. But anyway, I am super grateful for that, though. That is so, so cool. But guys, this is probably the last episode for this year. Kind of looking at the schedule, my schedule anyway. It's going to be extremely busy. We got Christmas, obviously, and then New Year's. So probably not going to send out another one until after, sometime in January, early January. I promise, early in January. So, unless something big happens, like a huge update or something like that. Actually, after I thought about that, they are doing an update for December. So when that update drops, we might send another episode. Yeah, I don't know, guys. That December update might come out, and we might have to do an episode there, but it might be very, very quick, very short, because of the time frame that I have on my end. But guys, let's go right in to the new tower troop, the Chef Royale. And I'm not exactly sure when this is supposed to drop, but man, the Chef Royale looks absolutely amazing. I'm so, Boss was right. Boss was right. It had something to do with healing, and, not the exact thing, like, speaking of healing, not like literally healing them, but more like upgrading them for free in a way. So this is the tower troop that's got a brand new ability. It's like the same ability type that the Goblin tower troop, game mode thing that was there. The same thing, but this is like for real. This is like not a game mode. This is a real card that's going to be played. This is like for POL or ladder. This is the real deal. The ability is a pancake boost. It throws a level up pancake to your biggest troop, increasing their HP and damage by 10%. So I've only watched OJ's video. I don't even think I've watched all the way because I was pretty busy today. But he did say that the Royal Chef Tower is a little bit weaker than the Princess Tower. So if it's somewhat the same, then I don't understand why anybody would be playing the Princess Tower, because you do get like a level up. I don't know. So I mean, like, I don't want the Supercell to like make tower troops very, very similar and have like a little buff, just like this one. This one's really close to the Princess Tower, but it also has where you can upgrade cards for free in game. You know what I mean? So like now nobody's going to be playing the Princess Tower unless like that little 10%, or I don't even know if it's 10%, but the The chef doesn't have as much damage as the princess. It's a little bit weaker. I don't know how much weaker it is really. But I don't like that where the card is very, very similar, but has an extra bonus to it, because that will shine out the Princess Tower. Nobody will play the Princess Tower. You just might as well play this, if you know what I'm saying. But here is what the description of the Royal Chef says. And it says that the Royal Chef cooks up a mean pancake and throws it to your troop with the highest hit points, or with the most hit points, increasing the level by 1. Pancakes take longer to cook when he's attacking, and he serves troops who haven't eaten yet. So there's a few things to unpack here. So first off, he'll throw a pancake to a troop with the most hit points, and it'll increase their level by 1. So if it's a level 11, he'll increase it to level 12. He does not heal. He doesn't heal the bar at all, but he just increases their level, and it's all by 10%. And then he'll throw it to troops that haven't eaten yet. So if you lay it down a golem, he's going to throw the pancake to the golem, and then after, a certain amount of time, if you lay like a mini P.E.K.K.A down, he's going to throw the mini P.E.K.K.A next because he hasn't eaten yet. And then the third part of this, the pancakes take longer to cook when he's attacking. And I'm going to go through that right now. There's a little spreadsheet here. So when they're both idle, which means they're both doing nothing, it's 100% cooking speed. 18 seconds, it'll throw a pancake. Every 18 seconds, the pancake will be done. He'll throw it, upgrade a card. If one is idle and one is damaged, that's 100% as well, 18 seconds. If one is idle and one is attacking, that is an 80% cooking speed, which means it takes 22.5 seconds for the pancake to be ready. If one is destroyed and one is attacking, that's the same thing, 80%, 22 seconds. If they're both attacking, that's a 60%. That takes 30 seconds for each pancake to go. So you do not want them both attacking. That's actually crazy. 30 seconds. And if they're both destroyed, guys, 0%. There is no pancakes after that. So something to think about. But yeah, I thought that was very, very interesting, the time frame there. Now, for some reason, I saw like 15 seconds, every 15 seconds, and then 15 to 25 seconds, but this is off of Royal API, so it's 18 to 30 seconds, which is wildly longer, and maybe they already nerfed it or something crazy. But guys, I'm really liking this. This is going to be... Okay, so I've been telling Discord this, but it sounds so broken. It looks so broken watching OJ play. Because these creators are coming out with some crazy stuff. I just saw somebody posted on Discord a level 100 P.E.K.K.A. That is insane. Obviously, that's probably like a ×7 game mode that they're trying to do, and seeing how far that level can go up. You know what I mean? Level 100. So as of right now, I mean, you're never gonna get that in a real game. You're never gonna get a level 100, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you're level maxed out, level 15, you could. I mean, could you really see a level 20? Can you imagine a level 20 P.E.K.K.A? There ain't no way, man. There is no way. Level 20. That's 5 levels. I was also thinking maybe buildings, but clearly in the description it does say troops, and I believe it is only troops, it's not buildings. So I was thinking maybe what if you had a level 17 pump? That'd be insane. But yeah, it makes sense. It's only doing troops. But it's interesting that they're going with the most hit points. So if you had a golem, it probably goes towards more of the golem, but obviously it has to share its pancake, so it's hard to really stack. And if you have a golem out there, obviously he walks slow, and you might be able to level him twice, maybe 3 times, but you also need that support as well. So when you get your support cards down, it's, you know what I mean? When you get your support cards down, then it's going to start sharing, it's not going to level them up, obviously. And then obviously your opponent's gonna be playing this card, this Tower Troop as well. So I don't know. It kind of like balances out. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's gonna be like extremely broken like people are saying, because I think it's really gonna be hard to really stack up. Like the only thing I can think of maybe stacking up really well would be like E-Golem. But again, you're only spending 3 elixir on an E-Golem, and then you have to play supports. If you don't play any supports, you're going to lose the game. Your push will be absolutely for nothing. You know what I mean? And you're just it's just free elixir at that point. So just kind of just me trying to speculate and what's going on when this card releases. I think it's going to be really hard to really stack anything. Like obviously you're going to get that one, but I don't, I can see maybe two, but I that third stack, if you're level 15, you'll get 16, maybe 17, but I don't think you'll get that 18. It's going to be really tough in my opinion. And I hope I'm right. I really hope I'm right because, level 18 P.E.K.K.A, like I said, level 20, that'd be insane. But yeah, I think it's going to really help out beatdown decks. Now, OJ was saying maybe 2.6 or a hog cycle decks is going to be really good because a lot of the interaction is going to be different. So the opponent's got to play more cards. Like, obviously the Tower Troop doesn't go for building. So if your opponent lays a hog, you have to play a cannon. But if their hog is an extra level up, you have to play like an Ice Spirit now or a log or something like that. You know what I mean? So you have to play extra elixir. So could see hog possibly be pretty good as it already is. I'd imagine. I mean, there's a lot of hogs out there right now, but that's Clash Royale for you. And then Shane on OJ was kind of saying that, bait might be decent as well. Like imagine having a level, like I said, if you're level 15, imagine having a goblin off your goblin barrel level 16. But I think it still dies the log as well. So, I don't know. I in my opinion, and just kind of thinking about all of this, I don't think bait will be very good for the chef. I really think like lava, golems, maybe E-Giant will be solid in this deck. And I think E-Giant will be really good. Or giant decks. Giant Graveyard. Can you imagine that? Giant Graveyard, guys. Like, what are you going to do with a level 17 giant, and then all of a sudden you have to defend a graveyard and any poisons? It's going to be wild, guys. It's going to be wild, but I'm ready for it, man. I am ready, and I'm so glad this is a Tower Troop and not like a champion, because it seems like obviously they just dropped a champion, and everybody is tired of it. And when you see these 4 decks I'm going to give to you, you'll know why. You'll know why. That card is absolutely broken. I'm playing on my mini account, by the way. Actually, a lot. I'm spending a lot of time on that for some reason. I'm having a ton of fun with it. But I'm playing this hog EQ deck kind of because I'm only like at 4,000 trophies or something like that. So I had to kind of modify a little bit. But I have Goblinstein. And it's level 13, which is actually really crazy high. So that's probably that is the reason why I've been like on a 18 game win streak. But I'm also really low in that. But you literally have to play goblins. I mean, you just play Goblinstein, use its ability, you win. That's pretty much what Clash Royale is. And then obviously you have Ram Rider, you have your P.E.K.K.A, you got Mega Knight, and all that stuff. But yeah, guys, my mini account, man, I'm having so much fun with it, and I'm really learning how to play with Goblinstein. But we're getting off track here. But I think the chef is a nice, like, it's a great idea. I love it. I really don't think it's going to be that OP that people are thinking. They had a poll on Twitter that I think it was like 60%. I don't remember how many people voted, but obviously probably at least like maybe 10,000 people, you know what I mean, voted, or 6,000, whatever. But I remember it seeing, I think it was like 63% voted on the card as OP. I really don't think it's going to be that broken. I don't think so. I think, you have to wait, 18 at least. You have to wait 18 seconds at least for a pancake to go. And then he doesn't keep feeding that one troop. He has to share. And you can't just keep one troop out there in the field the whole time. So, I don't know. I hope it's not broken. Like I said, I hope I'm right. I hope it is not broken. I hope it's not broken. I hope I'm right. I mean, I don't want to see a card broken, especially a Tower Troop, because when we saw the Dagger Duchess come out, they were absolutely broken, and you had to have them to win, which means you had to pay money, or you had to, you know what I mean? Like, you had to level it up, or you're not going to win. Your defense was done for. So hopefully they really play tested this one out, and hopefully like the YouTube creators or whatever really play tested this out as well, and hopefully it's a good addition for the game, and I really think it is. I really think it's a great addition of the game, having a card to level up your card. Like that's just mind blowing. I mean, let's say like you don't have an elite card that you want to play, you can literally play it and then be fine because it'll be level 15 if you really wanted to do that. You know what I mean? Like, but not just that, but like all these interactions are going to change. You know, we thought about, when the Dagger Duchess came out and the Cannoneer, like Tower Troops coming out, everybody was like, wow, all these interactions are going to change. You got to learn, like the Cannoneers are interactions with cards. Then you got to learn the Dagger Duchess interactions with cards. Now you got to learn the Chef's interactions with cards, but you also have to learn like the extra upgrade. But what about Dark Goblin? Like Dark Goblin can kind of like keep on the board for a while if you play it right, or a princess. Imagine having a princess level 17 and they try to log it. It's not going to kill it. I don't think so. I think if once it gets to double the amount, like the double level, I don't think it'll kill that card with log anyway. So if there's a level 17 princess, I don't think a log will kill it. I don't know, guys. That's going to be wild. So, you know, maybe log bait, maybe bait cards will be good. I don't know. But all I can say, guys, I am ready for it. Bring it on. Well, let's go. Last segment here, the 4 decks for you guys to try and get ready for the 20-win challenge that I believe that's going to be very, very good when the 20 challenge comes out. And that 20 challenge was supposed to come out tomorrow of the day of this recording, the 13th, so we don't know when that will be now after they postponed it. But these are not in order. I'll kind of share my opinions on them but yeah, let's start with deck number 1, and it's my favorite deck. So we'll start with the evolutions. You got Firecracker, and then you can either do the skeletons or honestly probably the Ice Spirit. And then you got your Goblinstein, Hog Rider, Cannon, Log, and then you got your Earthquake. So it's just a Hog EQ cycle. It's a 2.8 cycle card. Obviously, you have your Goblinstein for that 3-card cycle, which is deadly. It's not used very much, actually. It's a 0.4% on usage, but it's got a 55% win rate. But yeah, I think overall it's really good. I think it's really good to learn as well. It's a very fast cycled. You really need to learn how to play Goblinstein as well. When to really use your Evo skeletons, or if you have Evo Ice Spirit, you got to really learn how to play them as well at the right time. But Ice Spirit is so underrated. Probably the most underrated Evo out there would be the Ice Spirit. After all this time, we're thinking like, Ice Spirit's really not that good. Obviously when they only had one Evo in that slot, when you only had one Evo in the slot, obviously no one's going to play it, but now there's 2 Evos. Very, very underrated Evo. But yeah, Hog, EQ, 2.8 cycle, that is the first deck. Deck number 2. Now this is a Goblinstein Royal Recruits log bait deck. This is the most popular deck out of these 4 that I have. 1.5% usage rate. Now that sounds like a very small number, but it's not. It's pretty good, pretty big. 12,000 people have been playing this exact deck. So, there's a bunch of variations of this as well, but here's the first two Evos. Goblin Barrel and the Royal Recruits, obviously. And then you got Goblinstein, Cannon Cart, Goblin Gang, Dark Goblin Arrows, and the Cannon. It is a 4.0 elixir average, so it's fairly good. Decent. You got that 3-card cycle as always. I think all of these decks have the 3-card cycle, if you guys know what I mean about the Goblinstein. Everybody's playing it. The win percentage is 56%. That's wild. This I've been seeing this deck as well. Very, like I said, very popular deck. Can't go wrong with the Dark Goblin. Seems like okay, guys. Dark Goblin is so good, and Dark Goblin is one of my favorite cards. Right when I first started Clash Royale, Dark Goblin was my favorite card in the whole entire game. But then you also have in this deck the Cannon Cart. Cannon Cart is extremely good. We're going to be probably seeing a nerf probably coming up next season, so be aware of that. But this deck overall, very, very good, very strong. And this deck is all actually like the easiest deck to learn and the easiest to use out of all of these. Royal Recruits, you just play Royal Recruits defensively. You can't go wrong playing them defensively, honestly. You just play them like that and then let them counter push. And you'll be fine. And then you got your spammies. You got your, Goblin Gang, you got your Dark Goblin to clean up stuff. Obviously, you got your Goblinstein doing work there. And then you got your primary win con, your Goblin Barrel. And that's evolution as well. So, pretty good deck. Very good. I think it's a very good defensive deck. And then, you have your Goblin Barrel that can be extremely good on offense if you play it right and get their spell cycle wanky and stuff like that. So, yeah, very, very good deck there. Deck number 3. This deck I'm very surprised that it's not as popular. 0.3% on usage rate, so about 2,000 people have been playing this exact deck. But this is the highest win percentage of all of the decks, 58%. And you'll know why. Here's the two evolutions. You got Evolution P.E.K.K.A. and the Bomber. And then the other cards are Goblinstein, Ram Rider, Ghost, Fisherman, Arrows, and the Rage. I think one of our guys on Discord was playing this. I think he played it. I think it was Yeti. I think he was playing on a global tournament, and I think he got like 16 wins with this deck. I'm pretty sure this was the deck that he was playing. It was, if not, it was somewhat very similar to this. So I know it's really good. By the way, the average elixir is 3.8, and you got that you had that 3-card cycle with the Goblinstein, and they're also playing this deck with the Princess Tower. So far, all of the decks that I have listed, they have been playing with the Princess Tower. So just keep that in mind as well. Now, I've only played this deck a little bit. Now, obviously, you got your secondary win con to Bomber. Very good at cleaning up stuff. And then you got Goblinstein would be your secondary win con as well. Then you got your primary is your Ram Rider. And then you got P.E.K.K.A., one of the greatest defensive cards in the game right now. And it heals. Evolution's still very, very strong. Probably going to be seeing a nerf very, very soon. Then you got Ghost as a support. And then Fisherman, guys, very good. Everybody's complaining about this thing. Probably going to see another nerf with this card as well. So keep that in mind as well. It might not work for next season. But I kind of hope it. I don't know. I'm not going to even share my opinion. I'm going to get ripped online. But anyway, you got Fisherman and then you got Arrows. Almost all the time, you're going to have Arrows or Fireball in a deck. And then Rage to really punish your opponent. Deck number 4, our last deck. It is the Mortar Goblinstein deck. It's not like a Mortar Bait. It kind of is, but it's kind of not. I would say it's more of a like Mortar Control. But here's the two evolutions. You got Evolution Bats and the Mortar. Then you got Goblinstein Miner, Cannon Cart, the Fireball, Goblin Gang, and then the Arrows. It is a 3.5 average elixir. And you do have that 3-card cycle. And then the Tower Troop, you are using the Cannoneer. Now, most of the time when you're playing Mortar, you're playing Cannoneer. Cannoneer is a very great card, especially on defense, especially to really slap. I mean, this deck, guys, is very good on defense. The cannon card is very good on defense. Bats, evolution bats, or just bats in general are really good. And you get the Goblin Stein, obviously really good. And then you got like a bait card is your Goblin Gang, and you can kind of miner a few times. And then, you know, you can really trick people with the miner. Put the miner, you know, if you play cannon card at the bridge and then you miner it in the back of their tower, and they play a troop like in front of their tower, that troop's going to go behind their tower, and then they got to play another thing with the cannon card. I mean, you can kind of trick them like that, but obviously you can snipe with the tower as well. You got your log. Fireball is really good, especially end game. And then with the mortar, guys, just be careful trying to push offensively. My rule is, like, if you don't know when to push with your mortar, play it defensively. If you don't know when to play it, just play it defensively. You can never go wrong with a defensive mortar unless you know they have like a hog rider or something like that where you really got to pay attention and use it for that purpose. But yeah, just keep that in mind. But cannon cart in this deck is your best friend. I am not kidding you. It is going to give you the most value in this deck, especially defensively. Do not ever push this thing offensively, but because this thing on defense is just absolutely, it slaps, man. It slaps. It slaps all the MKs and the P.E.K.K.A.s, Goblin Giants, Goblin Steins. So this deck is absolutely insane. I've used this, not this style. I've been playing a Goblin or a Mortar Bait deck, and with Cannon Cart, and guys, it's wildly good. Wildly good. But yeah, those are the 4 decks that I would play in the 20 win challenge that's coming up in the near future. All right, guys, there's also something else coming out next season. We are going to be doing a card MVP. So we're going to have some voting on Discord. So if you want to be in this, you got to join the Discord to use the voting or to post your vote on a card. But every season, probably the last week of every season, we're going to vote maybe up to 4 to 5 cards, and you guys are be able to vote who is the best card for that season. Who is your MVP for that season? So we're going to be doing as well. We'll get a couple of guys on here as well, or it might just be me. But there's going to be a couple of segments on, you know, what card will be the MVP and what card should be listed. What card will make the top 5? That way we can put the voting. I think it'll be very interesting to talk about, to debate. We'll get a couple of guys to debate as well. We'll have Karate, maybe Trek, Frozen Yeti. Obviously, Kayla will be on as well. It'll be very interesting to see how many MVPs can a card get in a year. Like, can Goblin Stein, obviously this season would be an MVP. The Goblin Stein is extremely broken. But yeah, if you guys want to be in it, just join the Discord, because there's a voting page on there, and we'll be voting our MVP. And we're going to be starting this next season. It'll be in January. So that'll be our first season. We'll be doing an MVP. And I'm not entirely sure exactly, should the evolution be a separate card? And do we need to add tower troops? I'll ask the Discord that. We'll see what we decide there. But we might even do the best defensive card and the best offensive card. You know, I don't know. We'll just see every season. It'll be something very fun to talk about and discuss and debate. But guys, if you haven't already, join the Discord server. Please, please, please. We'd love to meet you guys. And we are extremely active there as well. If you haven't already, leave a review as well, and make sure you guys subscribe and check out the YouTube channel. And hopefully we'll see you on the next one.